Barclays Africa Group owns Absa and Barclays Bank elsewhere in Africa.
It has a market cap of 133.5 billion rand, a PE of 9, and a dividend yield of 6.4%.
How is this story unfolding?
So this one, in terms of shareholding, is really the problem. You can see the rating there is really low compared to its peers in South Africa, and I think that is this overhang of the Barclays international stake in Barclays Africa Group. So announced Barclays International PLC, listed on the LSE, have announced they will sell this stake. It's important for their capital requirements. They did a stress test in the UK on the big banks, and Barclays PLC still needs capital. So
just to remind me, so they need 100% capital for the whole of Absa, even though they don't own the whole stake.
You're quite right. And I think when the new CEO took over Barclays PLC, he looked at this and said it doesn't make sense. We're carrying this capital charge for 60% of the benefit, and therefore announced the disposal, which was quite a shock to the market at the time.
Let's have a look while you're talking. Let's put that share price graph up, and there you can see how the market reacted when the announcement first came through. And something of a recovery, but we're certainly not back at the highs, at around about that 200 level.
I think for Barclays, that capital requirements is certainly a big issue for them. It's almost like getting a margin call. You know, they're forced to sell this. I don't think it's great timing. In fact, I think, you know,
if you're the timing is very bad.
If you're a big company like Barclays and you've made this kind of deal, you're in there for the long run. You're not doing this for a quick trade. So I think the timing's shocking, and they've almost forced into it because of this capital requirement.
Yes, and so that is the overhang that you're seeing. I think it represents a buying opportunity. The problem is in May they did a placement of about 12% of their stock, Barclays PLC, in the local business, and they did it just placing it on the market, successful, but they own 50.1%. So you can see they've gone to the threshold limit. There has been talk of trying to sell that 50.1% in one go. All of those talks really have come to nothing. The ex-CEO of Barclays PLC, Bob Diamond, looking, but that's really fallen apart with the Carlyle Group, the PIC.
Many rumours around who would actually pick up this stake.
The problem with buying a bank for PE players, private equity, is you can't lever a bank because of this levered business model. So I don't think that's going to work. And it's almost that the market's resigned itself that this is going to be an on-market disposal.
Management changes within the Barclays Africa fold. Any insight?
They've had to manage this process. So there's been a lot of uncertainty. I think in initial stages with Barclays PLC taking more control, it didn't suit some of the management, and then they left, and now they're getting out. And so really playing havoc with their strategy and with their management. So they also need to bed that down. But I think with clarity on the way forward, that will provide some stability for management.
Peter McLaren coming in, replacing Stephen van Coller at the Barclays Africa Capital fold. And of course, many asking, what is Peter's banking experience?
Yeah, he didn't exactly cover himself in glory at Tiger Brands. So I think, again, a little unfair, because at the time when he was there, you know, everyone had a big Africa strategy, and like we spoken about earlier, things haven't turned out as well as people expected in Nigeria. Having said that, you know, operationally they seem to be picking up where they were struggling. So, for example, apparently their interface, they've got a good application, their online banking has improved. And again, I'm going to go back to the emphasis on retail banking and the ability to pull clients wherever they're operating. And I think they are starting to push that, and we're starting to see results from that.
Let's call this one, unless there's anything else that you would like to make us aware of before we make a call.
I think you're going to have to be patient with this one, but in the meantime, you're rewarded with quite a high dividend yield. So you paid to be patient. So for that reason, I'm hot.
And there could be, I mean, this could be a better opportunity for quicker value unlock than the others, which are trading at more expensive P's.
Yes.
I stand to be corrected here, but I think they've got the biggest mortgage book out of all the banks.
Standard Bank's very big in that. I think Standard Bank have just overtaken them.
Well, they've got a big mortgage book, and I think if we see the South African housing market start picking up, which again I believe is in the pipeline, they will certainly benefit from that.
Hot or not, Barclays Africa. Hot or not?
I'm going to be hot.
I don't know if Paul would agree with your calls on the banking environment today.